In Harris poll of 514 human resource professionals, 45.9% say the body piercings and tattoos will be grooming red flags. Use a zero point zero 0.01 significance level to test the claim that less than half of all human resource professionals say that body piercings are big grooming red flags. What we need to do is to write the hypotheses for the hypothesis test and indicate whether this is a two-tailed or one-tailed test. We will not need to perform the complete process of hypothesis test. We only need to write the hypothesis and determine whether this is a two-tailed or one-tailed test. This is the first step in the process of hypothesis tests. To write the hypothesis is to write the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. We will need to determine whether this is a hypothesis test for the population proportion P, or the population mean mu, or the population standard deviation sigma, and so on. From the problem, we see that this hints it is a proportion problem. But also, if we can imagine the survey question, such as, do you think body piercing and tattoo is a big grooming red flag? And the answer would simply be yes or no. And so this is a categorical variable. And since this is about the proportion, we are testing the claim about the population proportion P. And so the statement for the null and the alternative hypothesis is regarding the proportion population P. The null hypothesis is the statement of indifference, so it always have the equal sign. To determine the sign for the alternative hypothesis and the null value, we would need to first write the claim in symbolic form. The claim is that less than half of all human resource professionals say that body piercing are big grooming red flag. This is P less than 0.5 or 1/2. And this is the claim in symbolic form. Once we write the claim in symbolic form, we also write the negation of this claim in symbolic form. The negation of less than is greater than or equals. Everything else is the same. The simple lowercase p and the null value 1/2 stay the same. We only change the inequality sign in the negation of the claim. In this case, the inequality in the claim is less than. The equality in its negation is therefore the opposite of less than is greater than or equal. Once we obtain the two expression, the expression without the equal sign is the alternative hypothesis. So in this case, P less than 1/2 is the alternative hypothesis. We write P less than 1/2 in the alternative hypothesis, and the null hypothesis is P equals 1/2. It is very important to recognize that the only difference between the null and the alternative hypothesis is the equality or the inequality. The notation lowercase p is used for both null and alternative. And we use the lowercase p in this case because this is the test for the proportion. And the null value 1/2 is also the same for both the null and the alternative hypothesis. This value comes from the claim itself, less than half. The value is 1/2 here. The null hypothesis is again the statement of indifference, so it always has the equal sign. Once we obtain the alternative hypothesis, we know whether the test is left tail, right tail or two tail. In this case, since the inequality in the alternative hypothesis is less than, this has to be a left tail test because less than is on the left. And so we conclude that this is a one tail test. Again, specifically, it is the left tail test.